The United States President Donald Trump has vowed to implement a wave of rising tariffs on European allies until the United States is allowed to purchase Greenland. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said 10% tariffs would come into effect on February 1st on Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, Great Britain, the Netherlands, and Finland. Those tariffs would increase to 25% on June 1st and would continue until a deal is reached for the United States to undertake the complete and total purchase of Greenland, Trump said. "I went through country after country," Trump had earlier said at a White House roundtable on rural health care. "I just went one after another. I may do that for Greenland on countries if they don't go along with Greenland because we need Greenland for national security," he said. The president's remarks come one day after troops from various European countries, including the UK, France, Germany, Norway, and Sweden, arrived in Greenland. Already, thousands of people in Greenland and Denmark have protested against plans by U.S. President Donald Trump to take over Greenland, an autonomous Danish territory. Demonstrations were held in Danish cities including the capital, Copenhagen, as well as in Greenland's capital, Nuuk. The rallies coincide with a visit to Copenhagen by a delegation from the U.S. Congress. Its leader, Democratic Senator Chris Coons, described Mr. Trump's rhetoric as not constructive. Meanwhile, the citizens of Greenland still strongly believe that the territory belonged to them and should be allowed to take decisions of their future there.
I'm quite worried, I would say. I feel it in my work every day, and I have a small daughter, 7 months, and I want her to grow up with a future that she can decide, or at least this is decided upon by our people.
We love our country, and our land, culture, and raw materials are ours. We don't want Trump and his billionaires to come here and steal our raw materials. We don't want to have.
And do you think he will? Do you think there is going to be?
Could be, but the NATO soldiers are here, so I think we are protected somehow.
On Wednesday, Denmark announced it was increasing its military presence in and around Greenland. Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with their Danish and Greenlandic counterparts at the White House on the same day, but the two sides did not come to an agreement over the future of Greenland. Trump said hours before the meeting that anything less than U.S. control of Greenland was unacceptable. Meanwhile, European leaders have responded to Trump's threat to impose tariffs. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the future of Greenland is a matter for the Greenlanders and the Danes, and applying tariffs on allies for pursuing the collective security of NATO allies is completely wrong. He adds the UK will be pursuing this directly with the U.S. administration. The Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen also disclosed that the U.S. president's statement comes as a surprise following a constructive meeting this week. France's Emmanuel Macron says no intimidation nor threat will influence us, as he describes the threat of tariffs as unacceptable. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson says European leaders will not allow ourselves to be blackmailed and describes Trump's threat as an EU issue. Dutch Foreign Minister David Van Wil says his country has taken note of the new tariffs and will consider a unified response. Finnish President Alexander Stubb tells Trump, among allies, issues are best resolved through discussion, not through pressure. While Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre says threats have no place among allies. Many other world leaders have also called for the amicable resolution of the issue of Greenland.